Hello, my quilty friends. So, I am working on my Bumbles and Blooms quilt. Just wanting to get you where you can see. So, I'm to this block. Gonna try and hide I'm to that block right there. That's the block we're making. So, I've already got quite a few of these sewed. So we're taking a fabric B and a fabric F square, and we're placing them right sides together, and then we're going to sew 1/4 of an inch on each side of the drawn line. So there we go. I have a stack over, I don't know how many this is going to take. I want to say that I counted right when I was cutting all this. However, it did work out on the B blocks. Only had just a little bit left over. There we go. So I thought I might take you guys along for the ride for just a few minutes. So now let me make another one of my bonus blocks. Let me just grab a square here. My nose is running, sorry, cold. Turned on the air today. It's hot. It is hot down here. I come in, I had my shop door open, and it was just too hot. I was hot. And I don't ever get hot, and I was hot. I'm going to set those over to the side for a few minutes. Okay, and some of these I have already sewn on each side. And I may kind of mix these up kind of scrappy. I think I need a new razor blade in my cutter thing here. There we go. I'm going to set those right there and set this one. Oh, that needs pressing. Okay, so let's finish sewing these 1/4 of an inch. So what I'm doing is I'm lining this line up with my edge of my presser foot. I'm making sure that it's lined up on this line. This is your 1/4 inch line. Making sure it's lined up there. In addition to my drawn line, I've just found that this method works best for me. And I know it's redundant that you have the line on your Seam So Easy guide, and I also draw the line, but I found that I get much better results by doing it this way, and I'm okay with it, you know. You may be one of those people that can just plop your fabric up here, line it up with that line, zip right down through there, and have perfect results every time. Not me. No, not me. It doesn't work out that well for me. Oh, gosh. And I would usually press these in between, but I'm going to be lazy and not do it. Did everybody have a good Tuesday? Today is Tuesday. Here we go. Nope, got it turned the wrong way. Want to try and turn them the seams the same way. So I hope everyone has had a great Tuesday and having a fantastic week. I hope everybody's having a really good week. That you're blessed beyond measure. Blessed beyond measure is man's greatest treasure. How about that? There we go. All right, so now that we have these sewn, we are going to cut them. Can y'all see if I put this up here? Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, and I don't have my ruler here. Hold on a sec. I gotta get my ruler. I thought I had it, but I didn't. All right. So we are going to cut these down the center. Make sure no fingers are in the way. You're going to get 2 half square triangle units per unit. Again, being consciously aware of where your fingers are at. And the reason why I say that, if you're a new subscriber, I cut myself really, really bad here a couple weeks ago. So I am just, yeah. It's not the first time I've cut myself with my rotary blade. It's not the first time. And I seriously doubt it'll be the last, but I just want to stress how important it is to make sure that you know where all your digits are before you lower that blade down and make that cut. Make sure that you're paying attention to what you're doing and that you know where all your digits are. Okay. All right, I think that's probably enough to get us started, and that way you guys don't have to sit through all of this. So I'm going to take these over to my ironing board. This is the unit that we're going for. This is the unit that we're going for. That right there. I'm going to lay this one up here. And we'll make one of these units together. All right. And then you'll need to square them up and take your little ruler. I like using my little ruler right here. Line up the diagonal. I'm going to make sure that you know where all your digits are. I turn it, line my little ruler back up. And it's not much. You're not taking off much. And it depends on how wonky it gets, you know, when I'm ironing it. You should always close your blade when you lay it down. I did not. I need a new blade in here because I'm having to press down like awful hard. You shouldn't have to do that. Don't be cheap. Don't be cheap. Change your blade. I got those on Amazon, in case anybody is wondering. Put my junk in there. These gold looking blades came from Amazon. That was just scrap stuff that I had. All right, so now that we have those squared up, you're going to take a fabric C. Grab this, a fabric C, and it is going to go like that. And then this one is going to turn this way, and a fabric G. And I cut all of my fabric G's the same. So we will stitch these together. I don't know if y'all can see that way over there. I'm not sure. So we are going to stitch. I didn't think so. It wasn't all lined up. Taking care that I'm sewing that 1/4 inch seam. And I cut these pieces on my Cricut. Oh, and look at that. I didn't do a real good job with that one, did I? I think I cut these on my Cricut. Some of them I did. I know some of them I did. Wow, are they all that way? No, this one's lining up. Okay, yeah, that one's lining up. Oh, and now I've done forgotten which way it needs to go. It goes like that. Look at the picture. Look at the picture, Liz. So yes, I did take and cut out the majority of the pieces for this block on my Cricut. I had, hurt my finger and cut the far out of it. And it was bandaged up pretty good. And it was kind of difficult to hold a rotary cutter, to hold the ruler and cut my pieces. So I went back and designed out my squares on my Cricut, and because I have the rotary blade and everything for it, and just let the Cricut cut it. Okay. Lay that over to the side, and I don't think I can leave these hooked together because I didn't, no, I didn't. If I'd have planned that out a little bit better, okay. So let's just grab another pair. So my scissors never stay sharp because I drop them like that all the time. Okay, so it goes like this. And then this one goes like that. Let me give them a good press. I'm going to press towards the solid, which I think is contrary to her directions. Remember, pressing is key to having a nice finished block. Oh yeah, we're lining up. Those are nesting in there perfectly. I just felt it click. Okay. And I'm going to take this off of here and add it to this one. My bonus quilt. What I got going on in here is a bonus quilt. I've almost got all of these pieces. I know I keep saying that, but really the pile has come down a lot. Yep. Let's come here. I can't get my scissors. All right, and then there's our finished, and we got perfect lined up right there. Look at that. That hardly ever happens in my sewing world, just saying. I'm gonna give it a good press. Hot, hot. All right, there we go. Hold it up for you guys to see. There we go. There is part. It takes 4 of these units. We're gonna need 4 of these, and I may keep them all scrappy. So there we go. I thought I'd take you along. I'm gonna continue to work on these because I have a little stack more to sew, and I'll meet you back here when I'm done. Actually, I'm going to pop back on here while I'm sewing these and talk a little, because I'm sure that maybe you're thinking Cricut and you cut fabric on your Cricut. Yes, I have a Cricut Maker, which you can, because I normally do a lot of paper crafting too, like junk journals, only mine aren't per se junk journals, but I love making them. So the only problem that I had was sometimes it would leave a little string, and then you would have, can you see that? You would have this little bit right here and it would pull. But I knew that I was going to be trimming these blocks up, and I really didn't think it was a big deal. I know that that will change the finished size of your block, and I thought, this is going to be a pain in the rear end, but they cut like perfectly. It's perfect, but I thought this is going to be such a pain in the butt. And I have 12 by 12 and the 12 by 24. I mean, look at that. 12 by 24 mats. So, and I just use my 12 by 12 mat because it's the only fabric mat. I take that back. The only fabric size mats I have are 12 by 12. See how perfect this one is? Can y'all see that? We'll hold it up here where you can see it. I mean, it cut it perfectly. It's perfect. And so, yeah, I really thought this is going to be a pain in the rear end, but I designed out the how big I wanted my squares. I designed those out, grouped it together, and did a basic cut. And here's another one that's just absolutely perfect. And like I said, some of them it didn't quite get. It would leave a thread. And even if you use AccuQuilt, sometimes when you're using, and I have some dies. I'm fixing to invest in some more. What was I going to say? Oh, I designed out how big I wanted my block, did it as a basic cut, and I didn't like cut my fabric to 12 by 12. I just got as close as actually these were 10 by 10. This was a layer cake. So they were already pre-cut. I take that back. So these were layer cakes already pre-cut. So I just popped my layer. I figured out, designed it out, what I could get out of a layer cake. I had very little waste. I was actually so surprised at how little waste I had, because I'm going to tell you, I would waste way more. I don't think I want those. Let's do this one as something different. I got a little carried away and I cut way too many of these right here. Way too many. So, anyway, it worked out. I'm so tickled. I mean, you could just lay that up there and it lines up incredibly. So, does anybody else out here whoa, I got a little love on that. Did y'all see that? To see if that's going to make a huge difference. So does anybody else use a Cricut to cut their fabric? And I'm not sure if it saves my files as public. If it does, I can look and see what my username is on Cricut and we can share. I don't mind sharing. I don't have a problem with sharing. I am just so tickled. Look at that. And I think if you starched your fabric, that you would get even better results. I did not starch my fabric, and I normally do. And you're going to get some shrinkage when you starch pre-cuts. So anyway, let me know. Do you have a Cricut? And if you do, have you ever used it to cut fabric? And if you did, what is your opinion? And do you have an AccuQuilt? Do any of you out there have an AccuQuilt? Because I've been looking at, I have a Sizzix. Sizzix doesn't make quilting dies anymore. They have completely gotten. I have a few quilting dies from Sizzix. I've had them for years, and they still work perfectly. I have the 2.5 inch strip, 5 inch strip, and 1.5 inch strip dies, plus a few random other dies like 2.5 inch. Oh, that one's off, but I think we can catch that in the seam allowance. I think. I'm gonna roll with it, guys. I'm gonna roll with it. If you have both, I know there's a little more prep work using the Cricut than there is by using like an AccuQuilt die, by using dies. So I'm just curious. I am just curious about what your thoughts are. I had a real good experience doing this fabric with the Cricut. I am actually going to explore doing some more. with my Cricut. And from what I read, the blades should last forever. Not forever, but you know, the blades will last because you're not dropping them like I dropped my rotary cutter 50,000 times, you know. Anyway, I just had to pop back on and talk a little bit about using the Cricut. And I could do a video if anybody is interested on that. The next time I sit down to cut using the Cricut, I mean, if you're interested, you might not be. You might think, I don't want to watch that. Or if you have one and you've never tried it, you know, let me know. I don't mind making videos of something that you would be interested in. Yeah. Anyway, let me know what you think. All right, so now I'm just ready to sew down this other side. Whoop, I almost did it. And I think, oh yeah, I can pull it out. I almost did it. Were you hollering at me? Were y'all telling me about it? Yeah, good thing I caught it. I mean, I've just been sewing over the other line, but let's not make more work for ourselves. Oh gosh, let's don't double do. Get up under there. There we go. And slide that one right up under there. I'm getting careless because I know that I want to get this quilt done for my friend. Her birthday is next week, and there's no way I'm going to make it, I don't think. This is the last block that I have, and then we can start putting the quilt together, but I have to quilt it, then I have to bind it, and I'm not sure that I really have the backing that I want for this quilt. I'm not sure. I don't think I do. I mean, I bought up a bunch of backing, and I may have something that'll work. I thought about a black grunge backing. That's what I was thinking. Yeah, I'm getting sloppy and careless in my sewing. And you should never do that. You should take pride in what you're doing from the moment you sit down to sew to the moment that you get up. You should be careful, take pride in your craftsmanship, because that's what you're doing. This is a craftsmanship. This takes skill. You know, people hear that you quilt, you know, and they're like, that doesn't take a lot of brains to quilt. Ha! They have never sat down to quilt. You know. There we go. Oop, turned it the wrong way. Turn it that way. Line that up. So I'll probably get these all sewed, cut apart, and pressed, and then maybe tomorrow we'll start assembling the block. I'm not sure I understand her flying geese directions. I'm not sure that, oh, okay, I think I see. And I'm not real fond of putting flying geese together this way, but, you know, we're going to give it a go. I think I'm letting it slip when I get right there. I'm turning it loose. You hold on to that puppy. like that. You should hold on to it all the way through from start to finish. There we go. All right. Okay, so I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to cut these apart. Then I'm going to cut them in half. Press them open, trim them up, and meet you guys. I will meet you guys probably back here tomorrow, and we'll start assembling the flying geese units. I do believe that's the next units we have to assemble before we can start actually assembling the block. So I take that back, what I said just a few minutes ago. All right. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening. I love you guys as always. Be safe. Be happy. Eat a bite of chocolate for me. I love chocolate. I don't ever get enough chocolate. I love y'all. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening till I meet you back here in the sewing room. Bye for now.